You are there. Thank goodness for that. You are back.
Yes,
I just lost the
no
internet.
worries. Everything. I figured something was wrong because everything just dropped out.
Yeah, well, it's gotten to that 21. It's a bit warm in my room, so of course,
Hmm.
everything goes astray. Sirens, I love sirens. I mean,
And
the
what
whole.
is it?
Mhm.
Sirens? We don't get sirens down here.
Oh, sure you do.
Oh, well, we do, but it's so rare that where we are, we will hear a siren.
Oh no, no, I mean
Maybe.
sirens like the ancient Greek and ancient Roman.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought you were talking like the constabulary, the paramedics, and the boys that like to play with hoses.
Oh no, I used to get them all the time in my house, and I'm actually pretty close to a hospital now. But I used to get I used to be right across the road from the fire station, right near the hospital. Like you'd get so many sirens at all hours, and I mean that's good. That means someone's going to help them. But so sirens I love because of the simple fact that they sit there and
I
they.
used to
Oh,
live.
mm, you got a delay. Yeah, used to live.
Internet. Is your internet unfrozen? Because everything's just frozen again.
Yeah, I can see you on mine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, it's just yeah, unfrozen. I used to live basically opposite Westmead Hospital.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Speaking of sirens and whatnot,
Mhm.
and right through summer, exact spot where the helicopter used to turn around to land on the helipad was right where my lounge room window was. So every summer, about every 15 minutes, I'd get the entire apartment lit up by the searchlight from the helicopter.
Oh my lord. Well, that would be a nice
So,
winter
and
home for
so I'm
you.
glad I'm out where I am, where you don't hear sirens or anything like that, which is rather
Oh,
lovely.
definitely. Yeah, I can still hear them from where I
But
am.
we
It's
are,
not as bad.
but we are going to be talking about sirens of the sea, are we, Mistress?
We are indeed. Now, I love sirens because of the simple fact that it's a naked woman standing alone, minding its own business. Men go near it to try to touch it or talk to it, and they die. Should have learnt the lesson. Leave the random women alone unless they actually want to talk to you. Um, but they're said to be some of the most dangerous sea monsters. So this one here, the first picture, the orange one, is from Miss of the Odyssey in Art and Literature from 1882. That one there is. Um,
Mhm.
and the other one with the lovely, I hope I don't get in trouble for cartoon, but I stickles, um, is from Reynolds, Reynolds Finley Historical Library of fuck Hortus Sanitus. You know what? That's what it's called from now on. No more questions. From 1497. So the last word is Sanitas. So these are bloomin' old and really beautiful. Um, yes, they lured sailors to their death by singing and music and stuff like that. Out in the middle of the ocean, and they were said to be like when people go, oh, there's no such thing as sirens, they were just seeing dolphins or manatees or whatever.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
of course.
You end up getting
And
destroyed by a
if
manatee.
and for those that are big fans of pop culture, you may recall from one of the Simpsons specials
Mm-hmm.
that Homer did Homer's Odyssey, where his crew nearly ploughed the boat into an island full of sirens.
Mm-hmm.
But they turned away at the last minute because the sirens were Patty and Selma.
That's right. And they're like seal bodies or something like that. They were awesome.
Yep, yep, yep.
I love those Halloween Simpsons. We all know it. I love it. Love them. Love them. Love them. But yeah, the only way to stop death from sirens was to fill your ears up with wax. Apparently, so they'd get like the wax for fixing the ship, and that
I
is
think you'd
the.
probably be I think you'd probably be pretty deaf after putting wax in your ears because it'd probably ruin your ears for the rest of your life.
I reckon these sailors out in the middle of the ocean for 6 months of the year with no wind who are seeing random singing creatures are probably going a little bit mad. Um, I think that's the least of their worries. Probably, dying of dehydration and starvation, as opposed to banging a manatee.
Scurvy.
Scurvy.
Scurvy was the big killer.
Yeah. I always remember from this game called, oh my god, I remembered it the other day because I was talking about it. Sales of something island. Anyway, I talked about it the other day. It's a piratey point-and-click game. And there's this one bit where you have to, where you rhyme with each other. You're doing a battle of rhymes. And then you say, we'll all avoid scurvy if we just eat an orange. And that stopped everything, you won. Because nothing rhymes with orange. Unless you make up your own words. Which I do.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. Now my internet
Mistress
might
is
decide
in.
to do some stuff again because it's being annoying.
I can hear.
See, mine's okay here, mine's okay some places. And not others. My
Yeah,
picture
now,
of you is fine.
yeah, now it's. Yeah.
So it might
Oh,
not
hang on,
actually
I'll switch
be
on Wi-Fi.
my system. It might be the monsters.
It could be. It could be.
Get away.
Everything's back normal now.
Okay, good. Obviously, one of the main popular types. The vampire.
The vampire.
The vampire.
Christopher Lee. Oh my goodness. Very good
to.
Dracula. Very good Dracula. Very good Dracula.
Definitely. Who's your favourite Dracula, do you reckon?
Ah, John Waters.
John Waters.
Mm-hmm. The Australian actor.
Okay.
I saw him do Dracula at, pretty sure it was Her Majesty's, very late 70s or maybe 1980. And he was Dracula in the stage show and he was super good.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about now. I was like, I had to Google it. I'm like, who's that person? Yeah, no, he'd be amazing. You just have to stand there. And he'd be better than heaps of them. Like, I don't think I could choose my favourite Dracula. Like, I love so many of them. They're just, you know, Leslie Nielsen. You know what I mean? You can go from Leslie Nielsen to, like, Bram Stoker.
But which is your favourite vampire character? What's the name of your favourite vampire character?
Depends how I feel. Because I love the vampire Lestat. I love Lestat. I love the backstory. I love everything about that. I love, like, I don't know. There's just so many.
For me, it's Miriam Blaylock.
I think we spoke about this before. Miriam Blaylock. Miriam?
Miriam, yes.
Blaylock.
From the Hunger and Last Vampire novels and movie. Yeah. She is the best vampire character I have come across. Really, really, really well done. Really well done.
I love that when you, like, they're old vampires, obviously. They should be classy. They should be wealthy. They should be so confident. Just like, I've been alive.
She's not.
Well, she's meant to be a wealthy vampire.
She is. She's about 2,500 years old, but the books are set in, as such, equivalent to our time of when it was written. So it's a 2,500-year-old vampire in basically the 20th century, late 20th century, early 21st century.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And how they navigate life and whatnot. And some of the stuff that's in the book, especially in the second one, The Last Vampire, is quite out there for its time. In the fact that in one section of the book, governments around the world, including the United Nations, have acknowledged the presence of vampires and provided them with special status where they cannot be prosecuted for killing somebody to feed.
Like you can't be in trouble for killing a cow, kind of thing.
Yeah, basically. But the United Nations also says that any humans that are being hunted by a vampire encouraged to use more than lethal force to defend themselves. So, just a rather really interesting take on um, sort of the sub geopolitical issue
Yeah, but
around it. It's just, the books are just fabulous. They really are.
I mean, death row inmates. You know,
Mm.
that why not? Yeah, have some dinner, vampires. You know, I'd be totally doing that. Going, hey vamps, you be nice to me, and I'll feed you this dude I found. He's very bad. Eat.
Mm. Mm.
Live in my basement.
But also the selection of victims and whatnot is all about, as such, seducing the victim rather than overpowering them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's real. You've really got to you've got to read the story. It
Got
is
it.
so good.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I love that kind of
Mm.
thinking of vampires as well. I mean, that's kind of how it started. We could talk. You know, thinking of them as a, you know, sexual beings, seducing people, getting them to leave their houses, getting them to, you know, sacrifice themselves. Say, "I please come and eat me." You know,
Yep.
it's they are so beautiful and so, you know, in many stories they're considered, you know, these mysterious, you know, and then you see other ones where they're monsters and they're, you know, Nosferatu, they've just got to go out and rip people's heads off, and it's
All right.
again it's very different.
Side, so,
Hmm?
side issue here, Mistress.
Mm.
What is it about us as human beings
Mm-hmm.
that draws us to something that is both dark but also incredibly dangerous? What is it about us as humans that pulls us to that?
I think it's something to do with, and we've all got that like living on the edge, that little bit of a death wish thing, but also if um, you know, you could die. I don't know, it was something like that. It was about that fine line between pleasure and pain, that fine line between being scared and being, you know, and also, and being aroused, that line there, but, you know, the fact that they are so deep and mysterious, and, I don't know, it's probably that whole bad boy thing, isn't it? If they love
There's
you,
female. There's
if you
female.
can make
It's
them
not.
love you.
Hey,
Yeah, no, but like that whole idea of, you know, if you can make them love you, they, you know, they'll go out and be bad for everyone else but good for you, and then you're okay. I don't
but
know.
there's female vampires as well, and guys. I'm sorry, but they're not trying to carouse a female vampire into loving him so that she will stop being bad.
Some sort of loving.
And let's be serious. If a guy's chasing a female vampire, he's after one thing, and that is
Death.
wild and crazy sex.
Well, I don't know. Last time I slept with a vampire, it was a dud. Well, let's look at like nowadays stuff like Edward from bloody Twilight, Sparkles,
Mm.
where I can't be near you. I'm so emotional and broody. Whereas like, you know, people from the Lost Boys were just like, psh, go away, get out of here. You know, or Blade, or, you know what I mean? It's just, it's that
Mm.
there are so many different types of vampires, and it's been redone and redone and redone, and it's going to keep being redone because there's no, you know, it is something that the majority of the human race, they go, I know vampires, yeah, or they can go, no, I don't like them. But there's always going to be some, which is where the Twilight vampires come into it, where the ones from Vampire Diaries, you know, they're the more human vampires. Again, if anyone's played Vampire Masquerade, it's awesome. And Malkadians are the best. They're crazy.
If you want to look at vampires as portrayed in different um,
Mm.
popular culture
Mm-hmm.
situations, you should have a look at a series from the very early 1970s called The Night Stalker with Darren McGavin. Really old school, really old school, but it touches on just about every monster and demon that there is. Brilliant, brilliant for its time. If you can get hold of it, highly recommend it. You may be able to find it on some of the social sites like YouTube and whatnot. You
The Night
could find
Stalker
it.
by what? By who? Sorry, like when I've written The Night Stalker, it's just come up with the serial killer, The Night Stalker. Do you know what I mean?
Night
So
Stalker with Darren McGavin.
with Darren McGavin,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Darren.
and
Oh no, Darren.
it's a really good series, and
Get
Worth
hyped.
watching just as an interesting take on, how different demons and whatnot are represented.
That is very cool. So, TV series from 1974 to 1975, and you can read
Hmm.
about it on IMDb. It's also called Culture.
There is,
Kolchak,
yep.
The Night Stalker.
There is also a telemovie that was done between series one and series two,
Okay.
which was completely crazy.
Oh yeah,
But if that is so hard to get hold of, if you can see that, watch that because that was something very different.
that sounds awesome. Have you ever
Mm,
seen the Vampire
mm.
Masquerade TV series? It was like
No,
1980s or something. So there's a
no.
game, there's role playing game, tabletop games. Like do you know D and D and stuff like that?
Yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
there's tabletop games like that, the role playing games of Vampire the Masquerade, and there's computer games of it, and there's a whole pile of different vampires like Nosferatu, the standard ones, Turador. Well, now I'm trying to fucking say things. Everyone who's played it or watched it or read it, you know what I'm talking about. You know which ones I'm talking about. But it's really, really awesome. And they did a TV series of it. And it's so sort of, and no one, like, kill me for this. It's B grade. It's like a, you know, television opera kind of thing. Not an opera, but, like those ones where it's just like, I loved you. And you've been taken away from me. And the vampires here want me dead. And, like, it's so bad that it's so good. It's so awesome. Like, you should definitely watch it if you can. And hopefully
All
this
right,
will make you
here's
want to
one.
listen. Ooh.
Here's one. Talking B grade,
Mm-hmm.
Hammer horror films.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched any of the Hammer horror films of the
No idea.
late 70s?
I watch a lot of horror, and I watch a lot of
Mm-hmm.
films. So saying like,
Yep.
you know, I have no idea who. Yeah, I'm having a look now. Hammer horror
Hammer
film.
horror, that was actually a production house, and that's all they did was these really good B grade horror
And
movies.
now they're
They were
doing good
actually
ones. Now doing B
some of the
grade
B
ones.
grade ones
Yeah.
were. Yeah, but some of the B grade ones were really good. I mean,
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
talking B grade movies,
Yeah.
greatest B grade movie of all time, The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
B grade
you
movies
know,
have their space. Like, the same reason I love indie games. I love B grade. Like, I love all that kind of stuff because they have to focus on the story. They don't have all the money to spend on all the
exactly.
bells and whistles. They've got to focus on something else, and that's why I love them.
Yeah. Mm.
I'm just having a quick look here. Hammer, horror. It's alright, everyone. Just talk amongst yourself. I'm just going to do a bit of reading.
Bit of
It's,
reading.
yeah, I've just got
So,
this up here. I'm just going to just ignore everybody. I'm busy now.
that's a bit advanced for this time of evening, isn't it?
I'm
Reading?
going to do some study. That's
Not
really
yet, my
annoying.
dear. Not yet.
God, I've got to talk to you about that.
Yep.
Dice and stuff. Now we've got up the Kraken, which I jumped the gun of before. Do you know much about the Kraken? Apart from,
The
Pirates of the
Kraken
Caribbean
is
movies.
a demon summoned from the deep to crush ships and therefore the souls within.
Ooh, that sounds beautiful. I like that one. Summoned from the deep. The deep, dark. So I've
So
got
tell
here,
what you
it
know,
was a
Mistress.
Nordic folktale. I started off with. Giant sea monster that could devour ships and crew in one swallow. Reaching up to 60 feet in length. They're just big fucking squids, man. But, like, I know this is random, my brain jumps around. Is Cthulhu a Kraken?
I have no idea.
I just totally jumped
I
at, like,
have no
that,
idea.
that whole Cthulhu thing is like a whole thing. You'd just be an entire bloody night of going through all of that. Like, all of the bloody, what's his name? Fuck. And then this is a word I can never spell. Cthulhu. Oh, good thing my computer knows what I'm trying to say. H.P. Lovecraft, like going into H.P. Lovecraft stuff. That could be cool. Going through, like, the stories and his history and shit like that. Because he was a
Hmm.
very, eclectic man. Very interesting. Bless his little
Oh,
condescends.
there's plenty of interesting authors around.
I know. They're the best. I mean, if you think about it, to be a writer, you need to be insane in some way or other.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have this.
Yep.
This has to be broken, which is why I write a whole lot. And it's broken up here, and then you got to get it out. You know, you've been a fancy
any performer, any
yeah,
writer,
true.
um,
Content
any
creators.
musician that really knows their stuff usually has a deep underlying story. That's all we shall say.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I like it. So I'll have to do something on that one day. But that's the the Kraken. Everyone knows about the Kraken, and I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
what's Kraken. Get it? Because it's sorry.
Ah,
I know the chupacabra. Do you know about the chupacabra?
Mistress, before we go any further, Mistress, there is one thing that I will call veto on time in and time out, and that is dad jokes. They are prohibited. Okay, do not do them.
But I cannot stop. It comes out of me naturally. It's just part of my natural charm.
Dad, no, not dad jokes, my darling. Not dad jokes. Anything but, not dad jokes.
I will do my best, and I've got a whiteboard here. I'll just put like a little strikes down when I say a dad joke. Oh no, it's actually being used. Actually, no, I do have a blank whiteboard because it's a big one, so it will need to be blank for one night. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Chupacabra. Oh.
I know very little about chupacabra,
Can you?
and
I
are you
just
there?
really want to use the sound effect. Got all these sound effects queued up and shit. Why?
We're not.
Why not?
I'm not getting anything coming through.
Oh well, I had the same thing. Like last night's one, I had the beeping, beep
Mm-hmm.
that you bleep out things, and I was just going and having the sound effect go on, and she's going, I don't know what are you doing, and then I'm like, I'll record it for you later, and you'd see it, and she's like, oh you absolute twat. I'm like, I thought it was funny. Don't leave me to do these things. I'm getting one of those boards, so I'll be able to program in certain things. So, oh,
Mm-hmm.
dunk. There's going to just be a full thing of just me making noises because I'm a sad person. So the chupacabra literally means goat sucker. This fucker is a goat sucker. Likes to suck a goat. Jesus.
Look, there's 10 million jokes there. I am not touching a single one of them.
It's because it's not a goat.
Not at all.
It goes back to
Oh,
the 90s in Puerto Rico.
oh, whoa. Scroll back, Mistress.
I think we've got a nickname for him.
Defend.
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 No. I got nothing.
No. You cannot throw that at me and not defend it.
Well, I can.
Really?
I got nothing.
No, come on, you put it
Goes
out there.
back to the 90s in Puerto
Come
Rico,
on, you put it
where
out there.
8 sheep were found dead, entirely drained of blood, and then they decided it was a chupacabra. This fucker, just like drinking sheep, just having a bit of a sheep
Now,
breakfast.
folks, you see, this is what it is like. People think I'm an easy mark. They really do.
I could
But
just put you
in
on
reality, when they actually throw something out like that at me and then get called out big time, they won't defend it.
Well, don't need to defend it. You're over there. You can't do
Yeah,
anything about it.
you just call me a goat fucker.
Hey, I was just saying, I was asking if you were a goat fucker, if the reason was because it wasn't a goat. It was I was just trying to get to know you as a person. The fact that you're so defensive about it, now that gives me pause.
Oh, really?
Oh, goat fucker.
Come back.
Oh, God.
Very good comeback, love it.
That's actually a very common thing I say. People threaten, I'm like, make me. Come. How? Okay, so that's a chupacabra. Well, I wanted to find ones that people didn't really know about that well. Nope.
dearie me. And they still don't know about it that well.
It's a it's a possible thing from Puerto Rico that drinks sheep.
Moving on.
A little bit of sheep in my. Sorry. Um, everyone played Bloody Mary when they were a kid, right? You know Bloody Mary.
Not me.
You
I
don't play
know
Bloody
what I
Mary.
know. I know the Bloody Mary story, but I've never played Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. You stand in front of a mirror in the dark. Normally at
Mm-hmm.
sleepovers. Bloody
Mm-hmm.
Mary, Bloody Mary, and then a Bloody Mary like shows up next to you. Yeah, because normally you're underage and Bloody Marys are, of course, alcoholic. So she's a legend of a ghost or phantom, um, who was meant to you conjured her to reveal the future. Apparently, I thought she just the real Bloody Mary. This is, and of course, no. So yeah. Oh, you meant to chant it 13 times. Maybe that's why none of us ever got bloody haunted by Bloody Mary. We were doing
Well, maybe
three.
that's a good thing.
Oh,
Maybe that's a good thing that nobody got haunted, because that's what they say in all popular culture is, you've got to summon her 3 times.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it says here
Yeah.
13 or whatever. So it's
Mm.
apparently started with Mary Tudor. Why did I say Tudor? Tudor
Tudor.
Jackson. That's Monty Python quote if anyone got that one. Um, yeah, she was known as Bloody Mary. There's a lot. She was burnt. Oh, she burned about 280 Protestants alive during her reign. She did lots of things, lots of creepy shit. But apparently, she can. The ghost can tell the future. Fuck knows.
And aren't we lucky that the monarchs of today are not like Bloody Mary? I mean, I'm sure if she found out somebody said that she was an absolute twat, she would have either had them hung, burnt at the stake, or hung, drawn, and quartered.
Yeah.
Now if you call the king a twat, people go, "Yes, so what?"
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
The monarchy don't have anywhere near the bloody power they used to. You know, they used to be able to send people off to
Oh no.
war and go, I want to marry
Yep.
that one. Now they sit there and go, hello, and collect taxes, and people go, yeah, cool, that's the chick from the stamp. That's about it. Like, you know, they're
Pretty
popular
much.
as, like, you know, a Kardashian family. I don't mean it like that. I do not mean they're as important as the Kardashians, or as unimportant as the Kardashians, whatever. I'm just saying, you know, back in, you know, history.
It's a it's a traveling media circus, shall we say?
Yeah, like, no, they're just
Mm.
anybody, you know?
Mm.
But yeah, I love all that royalty stuff. I don't particularly want to be a princess now. They're pretty rich. I could do with some money. None of them are cute enough.
None of them are hurting for a coin. We could all do with some money, that is
Yeah,
for sure.
that is true. I would be very happy if someone just gave me $50. um, yeah, but so there's a lot. There's so much you can delve into with Bloody Mary, and then there was the you know the thing that it was a woman who'd murdered her kids and slashed herself up to kill herself, and then that's why you see her in a reflection because she's stuck in the mirrors of where she killed herself, shit like that. But yeah, apparently it
Uh-huh.
started off with Mary Tudor.
There you go.
Yep, and I will be doing this 13 times. No, I'm not doing that tonight. 13, I'll be
No, no.
to like count it. And I'll be like, how many was that? Was it 12? And then I get to 14, and Bloody Mary's like, oh god, she went over. Oh well,